to support jobs during the economic downturn, but we also did it, as I say, because we value the role of the university. We chose to do it. Now, some will say to you, oh, that's all waste. They'll try and tell you that it's, pouring money down the drain. Well, I want to tell you that's a position I really strongly object to. But we haven't just done it in terms of the bricks and mortar and the capital equipment. We've also put money into people. And the research training is one of the areas in which I'm directly responsible. We've doubled the number of Australian postgraduate awards. We've increased the stipends by 10%. We've sought to invest in terms of career structures for academics at postdoc, mid-level career, and of course our new laureate scheme. But most important of all, people will say to me, well, you put the equipment in place, but we need support for the people to run it. We've provided what people said was a critical issue, and have said so for a long, long time, indexation. $2.6 billion new money, which was legislated for just before the elections were called. Sustainable Research Excellence in University, which is our new scheme to assist with the indirect costs of funding research, $1.1 billion for that. So we want to put to you that we know there's more work to be done. For instance, we announced in this election campaign the establishment of a new industrial PhD program, 200 industrial PhDs. Because one of the things we want to see happen is to be an improvement in the level of engagement between the industry and the university. Because we all know that in this country, by international standards, our performance is pretty ordinary when it comes to private sector investment. So we've got to provide assistance to actually change that behaviour. One way is to actually get more PhDs working directly in industry. Of course, we're providing enhanced stipends for people to actually make it more attractive for them. We've also sought to establish a completely new research and development taxation system, or tax credits, which has been blocked in the Senate. That's $1.6 billion every year. It's the biggest thing we'll do. And I want to say to you, we are committed to pursue it. That's the sort of thing that can transform the way in which business does its R&D, and that's what we're very keen to pursue. I said to you on Saturday, you're going to have to make some choices. Well, all of that's on the line. We don't have a policy position from the Conservatives in this election. Equally, we don't have any evidence to say that the antipathy and the hostility they showed to universities during their last term has actually changed. No commitments in regard to the future funding of the NHMRC or the ARC. No commitments to the future role of universities. What we do have is Joe Hockey saying that he thinks people should be investing more in themselves, which we all know is code for the privatisation of the system. Look, this is a very, very important facility. It's a great opportunity, it's a great day. And the Deakin University Medical and Life Science Research Laboratory is amongst the finest of the achievements that we will be able to put to the Australian people on Saturday. I wish you well and formally declare it open. Thank you very much.
Senator, thank you so much. We really do value and admire the work you've been doing since 2007. And on behalf of the Vice-Chancellor, our new Vice-Chancellor, Jane Den Hollander, please accept our sincere thanks and congratulations on this wonderful investment here at Deakin Uni.
We haven't heard the parties talk in this election campaign, as it is, about what's going to happen. I'm talking about the secondary school sector. During the Howard government, we saw a lot of money going to private secondary schools and taken from the public secondary schools. And with Julia Gillard's commitment to education, I'd like to see the funneling of public money back to public secondary schools, and then we'll see in our institutions a fairer distribution across the socio-economic band of people coming up to the university.
All right. Well, first of all, in terms of the future funding of schools, which is not our direct responsibilities, any of us, but I'll do my best to help out on this. That's right. I taught at Glenroy Tech for 10 years, so I know something about these questions. The fact is that we've almost doubled the amount of money going to school education. Well, hang on. All of schools, but including public schools. There's been this massive injection, almost 100% improvement. And what have we got for it? We did it because we thought that schooling was really, really important. And the Libs have come at us to say this is wasteful. The improvement in school facilities for the 10,000 schools across Australia was wasteful. I find it difficult for that line of argument, or to believe the Australian people will buy that. Because the improvement in the teaching facilities alone has been an enormous benefit. But it's not just in terms of the capital, it's also huge sums of money gone in for the teacher education and for equipment, computers in schools program, for disabilities, for disadvantaged students, socioeconomic disadvantage. Because, you know, on all the indicators, we were actually going backwards as a country. And that's all empirically demonstrable. So we've actually tried to do something very serious about that, and for our troubles we've been told that this is a waste of money. So we are standing firm on that, we're standing firm to our commitment. We say that education is the #1 priority, and we're backing it up. Now we've also, in terms of the distribution of the funds, which is the heart of your question, we've also got a review underway right now. Because as you know, the biggest question here is the question of indexation within the school system. That's what drives these disparities that you speak of. And the average cost of government schooling, the indexation rate's around about 8.5%. I don't know if you asked your Vice-Chancellor lately what the rate is at universities, but I think you'll find it's very much lower than that. So that's the driving force here. We're now talking about the new funding bill of over $80 billion for the quadrennium. It is a very, very significant sum of money. What we've said is that no school, no individual school, will be worse off financially, and I think we've got an obligation to say that to parents before the election. But as to the actual formal way the SES system as it currently operates into the future, that's the subject of debate, because as you know it was highly controversial when it was introduced, and now we need to look at how it actually works in practice. But it does not change the fact that we've almost doubled the amount of money, and that includes for government schools.
There's some biotech people.
I'm in the middle of a 3-day experiment,
Right.
where I am using RNA probes.
Okay. What's that? Those things? No?
No. Oh, they're in containers that aren't here.
Okay.
But I'm using these probes to look at expression of particular genes.
Oh.
Yep, in zebrafish. So in these tiny containers are little tiny zebrafish, which are the animal model we're using. So they're very, very tiny. So look in there, they're tiny zebrafish embryos. Yep.
Well, there you go.
So these are genetic studies of cancer.
Yeah, so over this side of the medical building, we obviously have the strength in infectious diseases, immunity, which fits in well with ARL, but also a large cancer research area, which is working towards our partnership with ARL Family.
I'm working on ovarian cancer.
Okay, very good. And what's the electronic thing you do?
This is a gel tank,
Right.
wherein I will cast this gel. It's called DNA gel.
Okay.
So I'll pour it into this. I'll set it up, and then give an electric current of 110 volt and run it for 30 minutes.
Right.
And then check the bands and the results.